Hello. Ooh, geez. I'm Elijah Royal. Welcome back to CDH Unhinged. Today, we are going to continue our deck building process. We have our Mystery Booster 2, which arrived, and I've made some decisions about what we're going to do with that, which you might be interested in. I think you're going to like it. Not a whole bunch to go over today. We're really just wrapping this thing up, but there are a couple of notes to go over about that. I'm going to be experimenting a little bit throughout this short time that we have here before the new bans are announced in the end of April. I'm anticipating another meta shakeup. I'm anticipating an entire another list being required in order to adjust to that meta. And so right now we're just looking at the combinations of cards that we have available and what they do in order to make sure that we're using the tools that we have the most efficiently in order to make Urza the best weapon possible. With that, let's move on over to our overhead cam. Let's talk a little bit about our Mystery Booster 2. And welcome back. Good to see you. Okay. Well, let's start off talking a little bit about a recap of our deck building philosophy. What we're trying to do right now is make sure that when we slam one of our top deck cast enablers, we're basically just playing our whole deck. And let's recap the main areas of. Let's recap what we're actually doing with this deck here to make sure that we're not just we're running off a cliff. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that we don't lose. So ways that we don't lose, we have our 0 and 1 drop stacks, which attack the portion of the funnel that the turbo decks use in order to win. I'm talking about the graveyard, right? So we basically have a whole bunch of graveyard hate. What that does is shuts off the breach line. If they get the Thoracle, they get the Thoracle, right, off the Adnos. Because that's really what we're talking about here. Is like, does somebody get the cracked Thoracle hand? Like, anybody can get. Nobody talks about that. Anybody with those colors can just get the cracked Thoracle hand. Never happens. Okay, so we're really talking about like the turbo deck that we're seeing is Rogsai, and then after that, the second fastest one, maybe Kinnan. It's like, and then there are the other ones where it's just like Nahada's fast, other things are fast. Yeah, but what we're really seeing right now are turbo breach decks. That's what I'm seeing, turbo breach. So might as well use all of these 0 and 1 drop graveyard hate pieces in order to just reliably shut down that avenue to win in the early game. Okay, how do we protect Urza? So that's that. Okay, so and then that's not the only thing that we're doing there. Okay, so let's expand on again. What are we doing in order to make sure that we don't lose? We have those 0 and 1 drops, and a lot of the time we can get through turn 1, leaving a mana open, a blue mana. That's really cool. So what do we do with that blue mana? We use one of our 1 drop pieces of interaction: Rapid, Pongify, Chain, Flood Maw. We're going to add more because I think that we need more. But my point is that we're usually supposed to have something turn 1. We're going to have something turn 1, like a board presence. And then turn 2, we're going to be putting out something that's going to protect our own game plan. We're talking about Spellskite. We're talking about Lightning Grease, the Hexproof Boots, the other one that equips and gives hexproof that nobody runs, the suit. We're going to be dropping one of those pieces, something like a Conflail, maybe. Defense Grid is not necessary. I mean, it's in that category, but not, we're not just going to play that. But we're going to get something that's going to protect our own combo, right? Protect our own board state. And that's kind of like replacing the functions of the traditional counterspell, interrupt board states, and plays, and then also, well, I mean, not board states, that's not the place of a counterspell. Interrupt, opponent's game plan, and protect our own game plan. We have targeted game plan interruption, and then game plan protection from a different angle. So we're kind of accomplishing the same thing, not nearly as effective in many ways, but the point is that they can storm off the top. We have to make concessions. And that's the point. Like, can we minimize the concessions? Can we fill all of the roles in the deck that we need to, while still being able to storm off. So other cool artifacts. Repurposing Bay coming out is huge because that's an artifact that storms off the top and it's a tutor. The other one that I was thinking of before I said that was Moonsilver Key. Artifact-based tutors are really cool. Thank you for Repurposing Bay. Please give me more. All right, so and then what are our win conditions? We have all of the infinite mana things. Once you make an infinite mana, channel it into Urza, cast Wraith of Flux, cast everything after that. You're good to go. And then probably before you do that, you should cast a Defense Grid and a Conflail because you don't have any counter spells. So it's just like put those out there to make sure that there's no shenanigans. Yeah. That's how you win the game. That's how you protect yourself. That's how you interrupt opponent's board state. And then how do you get cards? Well, that's kind of cool because it's the same thing as your win con. It's like you just get 5 mana, get a top deck caster, and then play all the cards. It's pretty. It's just straightforward. It's simple, and but it's just like it seems that the thing that is not connecting right now is like the mulligan stage where I'm not where I'm not keeping a hand that has a combination of a top deck caster and a fast route to get there. You see what I'm saying? I'm keeping fast route and then being like, okay, I'll get, something down the line, a tutor or a top deck caster. It's like, and then it never comes. And it's just like, well, what's the point of going fast if you don't have the payoff? So what we need is the payoff in hand. That's what we need to be mulliganing for. And that's why we're going to be adding more tutors because guess what? We have these payoff cards. There's a limited amount of them. I think there's enough of them. Apparently not. So we're going to add tutors in order to get primarily our reality chip. Reality chip is our tutorable top deck caster, and it happens to be a very good one. So we're going to take advantage of that as best we can. All right, let's start messing with some cards. Oh, how about this mystery booster too? So this is a thing I think that I should preface with a story. And it's a story that my mother's told many times. And it's about my uncle. And the story is put quickly. They are children and eating candy bars in the back of my grandmother's car. And my mother, like a normal child, just unwraps the candy bar, eats it, has a great time. Very much enjoying what was the experience of eating a candy bar. And my uncle has his candy bar and he unwraps just a little bit, just the corner, and like takes a nibble and just, acts like it's the best thing ever and just, having the best time with that one bite. And then he just wraps it back up and then waits a couple minutes long after my mother has finished her candy bar and takes another nibble and just relishes in it and just makes a big show of this. And just really piece by piece has a great time with this candy bar. And it was, to my mother as a child, very upsetting. I don't know. She still talks about it to this day. So with that being the spirit of the action, what we're going to do is just open up one of these boosters in every video. And what am I going to do with the cards? I don't know because I have pretty much like the cards that I'm getting are new ones. Like I pretty much just rounded it out with that Mishra's. It's like things that I didn't know existed and not too many of those are super expensive. My point is with the Mystery Booster 2 cards, like I don't have I got 9 subscribers. It's like what I want to do is like open this up and then be like, oh, here's a cool card, and then be like, all right, let me ship it off to somebody. But it's just I don't have, but like that's not super sustainable at the moment. So how about you guys like and subscribe to this video, and then maybe one of you guys gets lucky and I send a cool card that I unwrap on over to you. But guess what? You got to be watching in order for that to be a thing. Like, I don't know how to line all those up. So if you want cards, let me know how you think that is best done. Pop into the Urza Discord, message me. If you know me personally, just tell me that way. Drop it in the comments section if you feel brave enough to comment. But yeah, please give it a like, give it a share, give it a subscribe, and then let me know how I should disperse these cards and who should get them. Well, that's enough talking. Let's go and unwrap our Mystery Booster 2 and our 1 pack for today. I didn't come again. I didn't come prepared with anything to open this with. So let's take a key. Like, why not? We're just gonna go like, oh my goodness, like that. Cool. It's open. Maybe I shouldn't do this directly on top of my other cards. Okay. But I do want you to see it. You know what? Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. This might be a little funky. But what we're gonna do is because I want to keep that layout. I like where those cards were. I don't want to mess that up. Forgive this cough. Ooh, okay. Oh, buddy, my dog made it in here. Let's open this up. We're going to get our one candy bar bite for today here. Can you imagine if the first one is just like Urza? We hope. That's what we're here for, right? I mean, oh my goodness. Why am I, okay, it's mine. I like it. Why am I being so careful? Yeah, look at that. They look so good, don't they? They do. Okay, which one do we pick? This one? This one? This one? We're just going to go down the line. Let's just go right there. How about that? I mean, the Mystery Booster 2 really is quite a cool product. I can't think of a more appealing product to an Urza player than the Mystery Booster 2. And it's like I almost want to be sparing with how I open them. Should I get other packs and be opening like one of those packs and then just like this once a week? What is that? The last 52 weeks. It lasts a little over 6 months. Whatever. We're just gonna open these. Why am I being so sentimental about these Mystery Booster 2 things? You can tell I don't open packs very often. I'm a Magic the Gathering single card buyer. I was going to say I'm a singles guy, but I'm not. I'm not a singles guy at all. I'm married. Okay, we made it. Geez. Let's start with a flip there. Slumbering Waterways. I don't know, which way does this show for you guys? Like, which way is actually up and down? Is that the right way for you guys? I don't know which way you guys watch this. I guess I've never thought about that. It would be really weird if everybody watched it this way. But you guys could be. I should watch my own videos. Let's do... you know, that's a problem that we'll solve next time. We're only opening one pack. It's about incremental improvement. That's what I'm talking about, guys. You know, yeah. We'll take a counterspell. We'll take a counterspell. I mean, the Future Sight border, that's what we're here for. Right? That's probably cooler than most of the counterspells that I have. And I got the Future Sight Urza already, so honestly, if I pull another one, this might go to one of you guys. Counterspell, that's dope. I like that. I'm a fan. I'll actually... Oh, man. You know what? This is probably a good time to pull out my Dragon Shields. Oh, don't tell me the heater's turning on. It is 20-something degrees. I have a cool photo on the Urza Discord of me with a frozen beard because I just barely made it off the highway and I was headed home. Had to pull into the parking lot of a Home Depot because I was just turning sideways on one of the main roads trying to get back to the house from the highway. Counterspell, looking good. Okay, so before this thing kicks into full gear, let's do a few more flips. Flickering Ward, I don't know anything about you. Johnny, I don't know anything about... Okay, whatever. Rimwood Falls, it's about to get loud in here. Wasteland Viper, Out Muscle, Blaze. Geez, they really do have everything in here. Sting, Scourger. How about a Supernatural Stamina? And moving on to Dockside Chef. Dude, I don't know any of these cards. Annex. You control enchanted land. That would be kind of cool to just snag somebody's cradle. I mean, but that's mean. If it was 3, it'd be so much more worth it. Illusory ambusher. Um, Dealt damage to draw that many cards, but it only has 1 health. This is Urza right here. No, it's not. Baffling End. Enters the battlefield, exiles. Okay, let's see. What's this guy right there? Genju of the Fields. That was a whole lot of. I mean, those are some cards. Those are indeed Magic the Gathering cards. Obviously, I'm stoked about the counterspell. Yeah. Oh, they have that thing on there. Okay, that makes sense because they're reprints. Are any of these good? You guys tell me. All right. Well, I don't know how bad the audio is for this with that air going, but or 2, how I should have the cards. Okay, let's. I'm just gonna watch my own video. Let's see. We're gonna pull it up, bop it up, CDH unhinged, and we're gonna go Urza decklist update improved, and it is absolutely not improved because it's not the right orientation. How do I change the orientation? Maybe that's a video editing thing. Well, okay. I'm just going to cut it off here for the moment because, I'm sitting here like, where are my cards? What am I doing? What am I actually trying to get at right now? Okay, let's reveal our project once again. All right. We got our counterspell. We're going to get back to the meat of this thing. We're categorizing these cards. What were these? Were these things that we just decided were too heavy? God Pharaoh, Sea Devil, Frozen Aether, Karn, the Pringle, Defiler of Dreams, Unstoppable Plan, Fibblethip, the Pringlest. What happened? What's going on here? What's going on here? Just straight Pringling, my man. Okay. Yeah, we got to be careful about this foil situation. Look at that Fibblethip in particular. Look at that beautiful stack of Magic the Gathering cards. Jeez. All right, try and spot the Fibblethip. Bro. Yeah, I feel like that should be just almost declared damaged. Okay, so how about I'm gonna figure out because I like the frame, right? Yeah, like this is recording the way that I want it to record. So, um, we'll just make sure that I flip it in the editing process. I don't know, or maybe I won't because I want to put this out today and we'll figure it out next time. I think that's the point. Is that there's a lot of I'm sure it's not good and we're gonna figure out the next time and you can stick around and see how that turns out. Check in every once in a while. I'm gonna keep doing this. You know. Okay, that was just a quick little look into what I already had going. So I decided that this obviously wasn't the route that I was going to go. These were all looking good. Maybe I should just watch my own video to figure out where I left off. Because you guys probably know more than I do if you're watching these back to back. You got an hour to pass and watching 2 of these. Leyline, I don't like storming into you. Snap, we are going to put you right there. We've got the Geist Wave. We got the Runaway Together. We got Counterbalance, which is kind of a... I was looking for the Winter Orb to put it next to it, but it doesn't really belong with the rest of that category. We're almost tempted to put it in this category. I think that's appropriate. Storage Matrix. We were looking at Storage Matrix and saying that's pretty cool because I don't need lands or creatures. I could just choose artifacts and be in really good shape. Mystical Tutor. Where did I put the tutors? Mr. Loyal Inventor and the Merchant Scroll hanging out here. Preordain. I really like the idea of just going brainstorm, ponder, preordain, get probe, bobble, other bobble. And then how about a Harbinger of the Seas? You can go and hang out. I mean, storage matrix, counterbalance, Harbinger of the Seas. Are you all like a stacks package? I'm not going to overthink it. Repeal. I can already tell you're not going to make it, buddy. Winter. I shouldn't say that. I didn't even like. I don't even like. I didn't recall the thought process for why I thought it was good. Winter Moon. Winter Moon with the sapphire medallion going right in, kind of here, messing that whole thing up, and Narset just hanging out. Okay, so the next step might just be another video, right? Because there's always going to be another video. There's always tomorrow. There's always the next day. There's always the next iteration. The next step here is basically going through and determining cuts. And it's like, because right now we're looking. What we did right now is we did. Okay, let's recap the process, because that's what I keep calling this thing. It's the process. We went over our overall game plan. We figured out exactly what we're trying to do with this deck. We covered our bases to figure out how we're not losing and how we are going to win and protect that win and make sure we're not getting blown off the board and all these other things. And, there's a lot of nuance to that. It's like not every deck does everything every time. But we've identified that as a target. And the deck can now be looked at through that lens as it currently sits and performed before. And then we can replace cards one by one, right? And there's a prioritization of cards, but I like ordering them into categories and replacing them kind of by category, right? Because I kind of like to have the same ratio of functions. And only change that ratio of functions when I determine there's a lack. So right now I feel like there's a lack of tutors. I feel like there's a lack of top deck manipulation. And so those are ratios of spells, and those are like in the top deck manipulation category. It's like that's a category of cards that I call a function. So each deck can have particular functions, and the functions overlap and they complement one another. Performing stacks reliably is a function of the deck. Being able to top deck cast is a function of the deck, and it's like that's not something that every single deck can do, and it's like a card package that allows it to do that. So it's my whatever package. It's my copy spell package. People refer to it that way. That's a function. My deck can reliably copy. Yeah. So we're gonna basically condense functions and have the bare minimum, with the primary one being pour the entire deck out. And right now I'm just seeing a lot of blue. I'm seeing a lot of blue, and that's not super conducive to pouring my deck out. So I'm already really like leaning towards these artifacts, man. And then also these top deck manipulators, because I think once we add the manipulators, and then we add another blue card that's not an artifact but creates artifact psi, being able to draw a little bit. It's again the top deck manipulation. It's just running into that land. It just is. Oof, we're running 25, and we can't go much lower than that, but we got to be able to get past them, because oh my goodness, does it suck to be just casting off the top and run into the back-to-back Bob Ross landscape. No thank you. They did do a Bob Ross secret lair, didn't they? Okay. Do I continue now and start going over the deck and do some one by ones, or do I check the audio, turn this thing the right way, do right by you guys, do some editing, and take this thing slow? I don't think that anybody is going to fault me for doing that. So how about we improve the quality of the video with the new things that I've just learned? We let you guys like, subscribe, tell me where I should be putting these mystery booster cards in terms of who wants them. I'll give them to you. Like, again, like I don't. What am I going to do with these? This counter spell I do kind of like. if somebody really wants this counterspell, whatever. But a better deal is you can just take my old counterspell. Okay, something like that. You guys have to have an opinion for me to make a decision about this. I'm not super partial either way. Like, subscribe. I'll fix the videos. Um, Again, there's like this tuning process. A lot of it was um, like day by day, card by card, grinding hard in order to make sure that we were making like the maximum amount of progress in the fastest pace of time. And now we have this little breather moment where we can just be like, hey, let's really like take our time, look at the cards, consider our options, make sure that we're not getting caught up in anything, take a step back, take it from first principles, because guess what, the entire meta is about to get blown out of the water. And a lot of that thinking that we're going to be doing after that happens, we can just get done right now. Let's get primed. Let's make sure that we're familiar with all of our cards. Let's make sure that we have all of our options. Get your binders put together. Look at my binder right here. Proxy all the cards. If you're an Urza player and you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know that half of these things were cards. Neither did I. Neither did I. There's a lot of cards. And we don't use them all the time. There's a lot of different builds. So anyways, my point is that we're moving forward. But we're doing it on purpose, and we're doing it at a pace that's not just like pretending that there isn't a huge meta shakeup tomorrow. You know, I'd love to perfect our list. I'd love to call this particular iteration of the list perfect, but the reality is it's not going to be perfect as soon as they decide to ban or unban a couple of key cards. There's going to be changes. But the core concept of the idea, we can define that and all the options and get our knowledge of what it can and can't do. We can run all those experiments before the bans. We can. And we can go into it really just from a great spot. So, oh, this is a great side by side because the heater just stopped. I don't know if that just ruined the audio for the whole video or not. Like, I need feedback from you guys, please. Like, subscribe, give feedback, share this thing. And if you're an Urza player, I'm gonna make you a couple of promises here. The first thing is that you're going to get better. If you watch me, you're going to get better. You're going to learn stuff. I do nothing but play Urza, consider these cards, think about it all day, put together videos for you guys, compete in tournaments, and do Urza stuff. I got a blue mana symbol tattooed on the back of my neck because this is the stuff that I like to do. It'd be really lame if you're an Urza player that's trying to get better and you're not at least taking a peek every once in a while of what's going on over here. That doesn't have to be like, oh my goodness, be my acolyte and follow everything that I'm doing. No, that's you don't have to be a little Urza fanboy. But my point is that there's cool things going on here, and I would like your opinion if you also are doing similar things and know what you're talking about. Contribute to the project. There's cool stuff happening, and you should be a part of it. I want you to be. Thank you, friends. Let's meet up next time, and we will go over the we'll go over the deck and we'll do some evaluations because guess what, it is it's time. All right, take care. Outro music.